What is up, everybody? This is episode number 28, ESO Recapped. My name is Tank. Now, we've been away a little bit for these episodes. I had some issues with YouTube, but looks like all those problems have been resolved now, and we're back on track. For tonight, we're going to be covering patch 1.3 update. We're going to take a look at the Road Ahead post from Matt Furore in regards to the August post for things coming up in 1.4, 1.5. And then lastly, we're going to take a brief view at PTS patch update 1.4, just some of the highlights. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to get through this episode fairly quickly. We've got some plans for tonight to do PTS patch 1.4, and we want to get into that as quickly as possible. So here we go, patch 1.3 update. What did we get with 1.3 a couple of weeks ago? First, we got the armor die system. Die stations, they can be found in at least one town in every normal overworld zone. So you got tons of places for die stations. Now, what is that exactly? It's basically the ability to dye your gear different colors. There's a new map marker added for each die station. It looks like a little pot with a stick coming out of it. The gear will have 3 separate areas on it in which you have tools that you can select to color those little boxes. There's 3 of them for each piece of gear. You've got color sets. You can use the special dye tools to create and apply custom colors. There's an eyedropper tool that allows you to basically copy a color to save them onto 4 preset dye areas that you can apply different colors. You also have the paint bucket tool, which this tool allows you to apply the dye that you've selected to the corresponding color area of every piece of gear that you have equipped. So whenever you take the paint bucket tool and you apply it to slot number 1, it's going to apply the color to all slots in the gear for slot number 1, and etc. The dye stations, as you can see, every color is available whenever you go into the dye station. Some of them have locks on them that let you know that that dye is not available to your character. You can right click on that dye to view achievement, and it will take you right into the dye achievement itself in your achievements list, so that you can see exactly what all you have to do to unlock that dye. Any dyes that are unlocked, they're unlocked for your entire character or account. It is not character based. So it's the armor die system. Next, you got new and improved guild features. There is improved guild management features. Guild leaders, listen up, guys. You're able to now create, delete, and reorder guild ranks. There are unique icons that you can assign to each guild rank. So instead of just default, images that are there for those ranks, you can customize. There's about 12 different images that you can use for those ranks, and you can have up to 10 different ranks as well. Next is Guild Heraldry. This is for something for the guild masters as well, and even your guild members can partake in this by wearing the Guild Heraldry. Once your guild has at least 10 members, you can purchase Guild Heraldry and design basically a guild tabard that your members will be able to go in, purchase a guild tabard from the guild store. So you just go to the guild store, you can filter it by guild items, and then you'll see the tabard right there. Make sure that you're looking at the guild that you want to purchase the tabard for, because you can be into up to 5 different guilds, and you can purchase a tabard for each one of those guilds. They're 2,000 gold apiece. Just something out there statistics wise for you guys, there's over 250 colors, 63 different backgrounds, 136 crests available for creating a tabard. So a ton of different options out there. Once they're designed, like I said, members, they can go in and buy those. It is 5,000 gold to purchase Guild Heraldry. That's a one-time purchase. And then after that, any change that the guild leader makes is 1,000 gold per change. So you change one color, that's 1,000 gold. You change 2 colors, that's 2,000 gold. Images, that's another 1,000. So just keep that in mind as you change it. And it is instant. The second you apply the new changes, it applies to everybody, regardless of where they're at. Lastly, and this is an awesome thing that they've brought in, the guild traders. This is really, really cool. So I want to dig into this just a little bit. Guilds can now hire merchants from the Guild Coast Trading Company in locations across Tamriel. There are 122 different traders currently in the world, all throughout Tamriel. Guilds can participate in a blind bid that lasts 1 week in order to win the trader's services for 1 full week. You can only bid on one trader at a time, and the highest bidder will be the winner. So let's look at that. Right now, it's Saturday the 23rd. If I put a bid in, that bid is going to be looked at on Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. If my guild, if the price that I put down is the top price, then my guild would be the winning guild, and we would own that trader starting Monday at 8 a.m. all the way till 8 a.m. next Monday. We would have to put a new bid in next week in order to try to hold that. It is blind, so nobody else knows what it is. Don't tell nobody what your bid is, because you don't want them just to one-up you and take your trader from you for that week. Now, if the trader is not hired, anybody that has the ability to hire traders, that is a rank option in the guilds that guild masters can turn on. If a person comes across a trader that's not been bid on for that week, it will not be hired. Nobody owns it. Then a player that has the right to hire traders can just simply interact with that guild trader and then pay a sum of money, 100 gold or whatever is the minimum, it looks like, and your guild would instantly maintain that guild trader for the week until Monday. So that you want to always be on the lookout for those in case you don't have one or you lost a bid. Start looking for one that's not been bid on. Let's see. Oh, and the guild traders, what does it do? Anybody, whether they're in the guild or not in the guild, if they come across that guild trader and they interact with that guild trader store, they're buying items from your guild. So it's really good, to branch out and not just be selling items to people in your guild now, but instead just anybody that comes across that trader itself. You can now bank guild gold. Also, whenever you reach 10 members, you can put gold into the guild bank, and that gold could be used to bid on traders or divvy out to members, or however you want to do it. It's up to the guild leader what he wants to do with it, with that gold that's in there. Note that if you deposit gold into a guild bank, you can't get it back. It's only people that have rights to withdraw gold that can get it back, but anybody can deposit into the bank. Also, something to note, some systems like Heraldry and guild traders can directly deposit or withdraw from the bank, so keep that in mind as well, guys. Next is going to be some Alliance War campaign changes. We've seen these already. The 10 campaigns that was out there, they're gone. They've redone all of the campaigns. So what we have now is we got Bow of Shadows. It's a 5-day veteran rank only campaign. Blackwater Blade, which is 5-day non-veteran only campaign. Haderis, which is 7-day standard campaign that anybody can join. Chilren is a 14-day standard campaign that anybody can join. And then Thornblade, which is a 30-day standard campaign that anybody can join. If you were assigned to any campaign prior to 1.3, you're going to be able to pick a new home free of charge. You don't have to worry about that. Switching campaigns now has a 3-day lockout timer, so you can't just simply switch home campaigns because you feel like it. It does have a cooldown on it. Another thing that they've changed, weapon swap is now instant. So there is no longer a cooldown to swap weapons. So keep that in mind, guys. It's instant now. It makes combat more responsive. They've done some color correction, trying to basically make the game look a little bit more realistic. They've added a difficulty mode to Ethereal Archive and Hellross Citadel. There's some clues in each of those to figure out how to enable hard mode. And basically the bosses, they have more health, a little bit harder mechanics, things like that. So it's just more difficult. Delves in Cold Harbor, they've been updated. They're now larger and have more monsters and loot. And this is going to be an ongoing effort across the game. In 1.4, they're actually targeting the Rift, Reaper's March, and there's one more that I can't remember right off the top of my head. Bankerai, thank you. All three of those zones, their delves in those zones are going to be made larger, and I was looking at those on the PTS just the other day, and yes, they're a lot bigger. So very good changes coming from that. Some changes they made to the game. Let's go back and take a look at the Alliance War. You now need 50,000 Alliance points instead of 10,000 Alliance points to become Emperor. If an Elder Scroll is dropped and it's not placed on its platform or picked up by another player, it will return to its last saved location in 5 minutes from the time that it was dropped. New abilities have been added to melee guards and scroll temples. They've increased overall XP value of player kills. Alliance war bags now have a chance to contain a Grand Soul Gem. Siege weapons now degrade much faster when not actively being controlled. And I can tell you right now, yes, they degrade very, very quickly if you are not on them. Siege weapon repair kits now repair double their prior healing value, so they're trying to make those siege weapon repair kits more valuable to be using. You know, that guy's out there sieging. If you got a repair kit and he's getting hit by some ballistas or whatever, you can start repairing his siege equipment and keep it healed. Not a lot of people, I don't think, was really using those. So it's good to see that they've made it to where if you're not sitting on these things, because a lot of people was bouncing back and forth with these, you got to stay on them to keep their health there, and then you use those repair kits to keep them healed up. So that's some pretty good changes there. They've increased the range of Mender Guard's damage abilities and the Sorcerer Guard fire abilities to combat long-range sniping, and I know they're still actively looking at that as well, trying to get it so that people cannot snipe these guards from far distances and the guards are not attacking back. Trebuchets and ice, or Trebuchet fire and ice, now have the same reload time as stone to prevent animation desyncing. They fixed an issue with the interaction status on postern wall houses and doors, and alliance leaders have dispatched a number of guards to all way shrines in Cyrodiil to counter increased spy incursions until further measures can be taken. So I know that we've seen some enemies get in behind those main gates, so they place some extra guards there for anybody that's, you know, gets in behind places where they're not supposed to be. Some animations. Emotes will now work while in combat. New emotes have been added, and just some of them that are included. You can do slash dance and then the race, all one word. So slash dance Imperial will make your character dance like an Imperial, or slash dance Khajiit will make it dance like a Khajiit. You've got slash idle and then slash idle 2 through 6. So new idle stances: slash juggle flame, slash lean back coin, slash rake, slash sad, slash spit, and slash sweep. That's just some of the new emotes that's come into the game. They fixed multiple graphical and audio things and improvements there. Cost to respect, this is no longer out there. They've reverted this back there, but in case you didn't get it, sorry, but it was in the notes that they did reduce the cost per respect down to 1 gold, but now it is 50 gold. So 50 gold slash rake, R-A-K-E. It is now 50 gold per point spent instead of 100 gold. So they have reduced that cost in half from what it was. This is some of the stuff that I really wanted to get into for tonight's episode that needs to be covered, I do believe, and it's class changes. So as always, guys, whenever I go through these points, listen up for your class. Let's start off with the Dragon Knights. What started to change with the Dragon Knights for 1.3? Under Earthen Heart, Magma Armor. This ability no longer stacks if you recast it before the duration expires. We also fixed an issue where this ability was doing 10 times the damage than intended. Also under Dragon Knights, Ardent Flame, Engulfing Flames, Fiery Breath Morph. The tooltip for this ability now properly states that it deals increased damage per rank. So that's what's changed with the Dragon Knights. Looking at the Nightblade, under Shadow, Dark Cloak, this ability can no longer be activated when you don't have any magicka. Manifestation of Terror, Aspect of Terror Morph. The Wraith summoned by using this ability no longer has collision. Shadowy Disguise, Shadow Cloak Morph, fixed an issue where rank 4 of this ability was not increasing the critical strike rating with spells. Summon Shade, try saying that 5 times fast, fixed an issue where using this ability could cause a monster to stare at the Summon Shade for several seconds before attacking you. Under Assassination, Incapacitate, Haste Morph, this ability now has a visual effect when the enemy is immobilized. Pressure Points, under Assassination. The tooltip for this ability no longer reports an incorrect value when multiple assassination values are slotted. Under Siphoning for Nightblades, Swallow Soul Rank 2 Strife Morph. This ability now properly considers siphoning ability. Under Sorcerers, listen up. Daedric Summoning. This summon Atronach no longer taunts the target it is attacking. Unstable Familiar, the familiar that you summon, is now considered a Daedra and can be affected by all Fighters Guild abilities. They fixed an issue where summoning an unstable familiar or winged twilight would cause them to pop into incorrect locations when canceling crouch. They also fixed an issue where your unstable familiar or winged twilight would run back to you in slow motion when recalled. And then lastly, under Daedric Summoning, the abilities Hardened Ward and Negate Magic no longer share the same icon. Under Storm Calling for the Sorcerer, Overload, you will now turn to face your target when attacking with this ability. We also fixed an issue where your weapon would occasionally still appear in your hands while this ability was active. Under Dark Magic, Crystal Blast, Crystal Shards Morph, they fixed a graphical issue that would occur when a Crystal Blast projectile was dodged. Daedric Tomb, Daedric Mind's Morph, using this ability will now cast the attack where your reticle is pointing instead of the direction you are facing. Encase, dodge rolling out of this ability no longer removes the visual effect from everyone affected by Encase. Restraining Prison, Encase Morph, the tooltip for this ability now lists the snare duration. So that's your Sorcerer changes for 1.3. Lastly, under Templars, you've got Adric Spear, Sun Shield. This ability no longer stops your Magicka regeneration. Restoring Light, Healing Ritual Morph. Both morphs of Healing Ritual now increase the heal value as they rank up. And then under Dawn's Wrath, they fixed an issue where Backlash Rank 3 wasn't dealing any damage. Blinding Light, this ability can now cause enemies to go off balance when they are blocking. Reflective Light Sun Morph, the tooltip for this ability now includes the damage over time. Sunfire fixed an issue where casting Sunfire wouldn't cause you to face your target. I'll spit that out in a minute. Total Dark Eclipse Morph. The tooltip now lists the correct duration for this ability. Some stuff under Enchanting I felt that needed to be mentioned here. They adjusted the amount of inspiration needed to progress in rank 26 and 27 in order to create smoother progression. They're also looking to make broader improvements to the inspiration you receive from Enchanting and its overall progression in an upcoming update. Some changes they made to Enchanting prefixes for the veteran glyphs. VR 1 and 2 is now major, 3 and 4 is greater, 5 and 6 is grand, 7 through 9 is splendid, 10 plus is monumental. Potency runes will now stack up to 100. And lastly, you will now gain inspiration when deconstructing veteran rank 11 and 12 glyphs. Under Guild Store, they fixed an issue where the Guild Store belonging to a claim keep in Cyrodiil could not be browsed by a non-guild member. Now, if you own your keep, and your Guild Store can be browsed by anyone of the same guild. So they fixed that entirely now. So whenever you claim a keep in a guild, and the way that that's done is when you take over a keep, if you go to the back of the keep, talk to the vendor in the back, there's an option there to claim the keep. And if you claim that keep for your guild, that's just like a guild trader in a sense. So anybody that visits that individual keep can now purchase items from your guild store. Let's see. Half of the taxes from transactions in the guild store will now get deposited directly into the bank. So I wanted to cover this because it is kind of misleading a little bit with how it's worded in the game. Whenever you list an item up onto the store, you're going to have a listing fee that you pay right out of pocket for yourself, and that's like 1%. Then there is a house cut fee, and it says it's 7%, and it says something to the nature that your guild store gets that 7%. Not so much. Your guild store will get 50% of that 7%, and they get the low side of that 7%. The NPC guild trader gets the high end of the 50% of that 7%. So if I have 50 gold let's say that 50 gold is the 7% for the items selling that would go to the guild store. Now, before the guild store gets 50 gold, that is going to be split 25 and 25. So if it was odd, like 25 and 24 gold, like if it's 49 gold, the guild store would receive 49 gold, 24 gold, and then the NPC guild trader would get 25 gold. That's just a gold sink, basically. So you don't get the entire amount of money there, but you do get, 50% of it. So that's good that when items sell, you do get that value. Let's see. Items, big changes to gear. I'm not going to sit here and read through every single one of these, but the bottom line is there are now 2 set bonuses, 3 set bonuses, 4 set bonuses, and 5 set bonuses with set gear. You no longer have like a 3 and a 5-piece set bonus. So you could have a 2-piece set of white strakes and it will give a 2 set bonus, or 3 set bonus, 4 set bonus, 5 set bonus, however many items of that you have. So all the pieces of gear has been done that way. Also, gear like Ebon gear, the dropped gear, some of those things did not have stats on them, or didn't have enchants or traits, things like that. Those have been fixed. So you've got new sets on them, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. But you also are getting the trait on it and an enchant. So that's really good changes. So I'm not going to sit there and beat a dead horse over going over all that notes. That's what you need to know about it. Tons of quest fixes in the game. A lot of quest fixes, as always. I mean, they've been on that since day one. And then lastly, with 1.3, something that's really cool that I've not seen a lot of people talk about is if you're grouped with a party member, and you go into a zone and you're not, or whenever you group with them, if you all are not together, the game will prompt you, hey, do you want to travel to this person? And it will take you to that player. So it's just another way to try and combat this phasing issue, which they're doing some more stuff with 1.4 as well, which I'm not going to dig deep into 1.4 tonight. I will be digging into it whenever we get the live portion of 1.4, because there's still a lot of stuff that's subject to change. We're still going to look at 1.4 a little bit with the Road Ahead post. So let's go ahead and move into the Road Ahead section. This is a post put out by Matt Furore last week, I believe. Maybe it's this week. I don't know. Road Ahead August post. Here we go. EU Mega Server has moved to Frankfurt. Good. Glad they finally got that moved. Combat system tweaks. There's going to be a lot more balancing go on. You've seen some balancing changes, like with Nightblades and Dragon Knights, especially the last couple of months. There's going to be a pretty big bulk of balance changes that's going to come up in Update 5. We don't know what it is yet, but you know that they've been talking about a lot of balance changes and things like that. So Update 5 looks like that's where the majority of those are going to be. ZeniMax just, making it known that they are definitely looking at exploits and cheating and things like that. People that are just trying to cheat the game or find exploits to do things, and whenever we report that stuff, they look into it, they take it seriously, and get it fixed. So if you see an exploit, it's like, yeah, this shouldn't be happening, do /feedback or /bug, either way. /bug would probably be easier. There is an exploit option in there. Report it to ZOS, let them know what you found, let them look into it. Loyalty program. This is something that's really cool. The bottom line of it, you run an active account, keep your subscription going, ZeniMax is going to be rewarding us for it. So they've broken it down, like right now it's every 3 months or every 6 months, things like that you have that active account, you're going to be rewarded an item. The 3-month reward, they've already said, is going to be a High Hrothgar Wrath Vanity Pet. It's one of those ice wraiths. So that's our 3-month, pat on the back. Thank you for having a active subscription for 3 months. And they're going to give us that pet because of that. That's awesome. Now, something to note. If you played the game for a month and then it's like, well, I don't like the game, I quit, and okay, whatever, I'm done. Then you decide, I want to come back and try this again. Can you ever get that Wrath Vanity Pet? Yes. It's milestones, so they're setting these up as rewards for 3 months. I don't know if it is consecutive 3 months or just 3 months of an active game time. That I've not seen that defined anywhere. Craver, Landakian, do you guys know right off the top of your head if it's consecutive or just having that much time?
I believe it's that much active time, but don't quote me on that.
I think that it is active time, but again, if you're really, really concerned about that, I would, send a message to ZeniMax. They're really good about getting back and clarifying this stuff, and just let them know, hey, I'm thinking about getting back into the game. Will I get my Ice Wraith? I played for a month. It was an active account for a month. Will I get it if I play for 2 more months, or do I have to have 3 consecutive months? And they should be able to answer that. So the 6-month reward, we're going to be getting information on that very soon as to what we're going to get. That's all we know is it's just a Ice Wrath vanity pet for right now for 3 months, and then 6 months will be announced very soon. What's going on with 1.4? Here's just a brief look at what's coming with 1.4. And again, this is very, very brief. Craglorn expands. The final region of Craglorn is going to be an update 4, which is going to feature new delves, new quests. It's going to have a new trial called Trial of the Serpent, continued storyline. So very, very big stuff coming up there. The bosses and monsters, they're harder and more difficult. I've done some of the delves that's in there. There's 6 new delves that you can go through. Those monsters are a little bit more difficult, yes. One of the bosses I fought, very impressive. Fought another one, it was a little bit easier. So get into PTS and give them feedback over this stuff, what you like, what you don't like, and things like that, but good improvements there. Dragonstar Arena. This is awesome. There's, basically look at it this as 4-man trials is what this is. You and 3 other friends are going to go in to an arena-style fight. There's going to be waves of ads that spawn in that you kill. You guys got to work together to kill the monsters off. And there's going to be different levels. There's 10 different arena styles. It's tiers. And within those 10 different tiers, there's like 5 levels that you go through. And there's bosses that come out to kill and things like that. So it starts off relatively easy for people to get in and get used to. And then you start working up the ranks. I've been to the 2nd tier to the last boss. Or no, we did get it down. Sorry, we did get the 2nd tier down. Went on to the 3rd, called it an evening there, but really fun stuff. There's also a heroic mode for those that really want a challenge. And I was talking to one of the guys in stream. And I'm not going to spoil it, but we'll just say that there's a fire that you got to use as a mechanic. And in the hardcore mode of it, that fire will go out on you. In the normal mode, it will not go out. So that's just one of the examples of heroic versus, but doing the heroic is much, much more difficult. Also, leaderboards, they are going to be wiped completely. They're going to clear the leaderboards out due to exploits that was allowing players to achieve times that should not have been achievable just by bypassing monsters and bosses and things like that. So leaderboards are going to be wiped completely. The champion system, it's still being worked on. If you're not sure what the champion system is, check out episode 27 ESO Recapped, where I cover the future panel of ESO. I go really in depth into the champion system. Paul Sage gave us a lot of information on it. It looks like a really great system, but it's still being worked on, and it is coming in a future update, 1.5, 1.6 probably, but we don't know exactly when it's coming, but it is coming. And lastly, like I said, get into PTS and test out these new content patches. Right now, they got 1.4 on the PTS currently that they want people to go in and test. Now, I went through this the last time, and I just want to go through it again, just so that you guys know how do I get into the PTS. Alright, so I'm on the screen right here. You can see down here at the bottom, right beside of me, there's the 1.4 version down here. If you get into your launcher, you will see that PTS is already on mine. But if you don't have the launcher loaded, this will not be here. So how do you get it there? You're going to click this little gear cog, it's going to change this to this screen here. You take this bar and you're going to scroll down to Show Public Test Environment. Put a check mark in Show the Public Test Environment. Click the gear cog and go back, and then you will see this, Elder Scrolls Online PTS. When you click on that, it will start another download. Make sure that you have at least 30 gigabytes of free space on your hard drive before you click this to start downloading it. You will need a grand total of at least 65 gigs to hold both the live North America or EU server and the PTS server. So make sure that you've got the space available before you go into downloading it. But definitely download the PTS, get over and check out the new content that ZeniMax is going to be bringing to us. You know, they do as much work as they can internally, and then they want us to get in there and help test and look at this new content, find bugs, report the bugs. Don't complain about them. Just report the bugs by using /bug or /feedback. Let them know. This content's just way too hard, and this is why it's too hard. This content is way too easy. Why is it too easy? Here's a bug. This crashed. This happened. This isn't working the way that I thought it would work. Give them that kind of feedback. Let them know what you like, dislike, and give them reasons. Give them suggestions on how to fix that stuff. ZeniMax loves getting our feedback, and they really do read that stuff. So that is going to wrap up episode number 28 of ESO Recapped. As I always do, I'll leave the floor open for the Twitch stream since I do it live. If you guys have any questions about what I just covered, please ask questions now. And Crave, Landakian, you guys have been hanging out in the chat. Was there any questions that was asked that I need to address?
I haven't seen any that hasn't been answered. You might have missed some.
I think they were all covered.
Good deal.
I looked at the what was it called?
What's up, Mr. Audio?
For the subscriber loyalty program. It just said when you have an active account for over 3 months, you'll get the pet.
For over 3 months. So see, that right there tells me it is once you've played for 3 months of activity, your account's been active for 3 months, you get that pet, which is good. I like that they would do something like that as opposed to the consecutive 3 months, because people may have hardships or whatever, and you know they may have to cancel a month or something like that. So I hope it is 3 months, whether it's takes you 6 months to do it or 3 actual months. Either way, I hope that's the way it is. That's what it sounds like to me. What's up, the boy? It doesn't look like there's any kind of questions out there. So if there's not any kind of questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up episode number 28 of ESO Recapped. Be able to start 1.4 stuff here momentarily. I know we're going to be doing some things with delves, doing maybe some of the quests, stuff like that. If we can get enough people on tonight, I'd love to get in and take a look at Trial of the Serpent, see what that's like. We may see some ZeniMax officials stop by tonight as well. Some of the devs. Jessica Folsom stopped by my stream last night. She was just checking out some of the streamers. I sent her some information. She requested it to let her know when we was going to do this stuff, and she was going to let the devs know. So we may see some devs stop by and get some of the feedback. So, if anybody's out in the stream and watching and the devs stop by, say hello to them. Be respectable. Give them some questions and things like that if they take questions. Jessica was awesome last night in the stream, listening to everybody and taking questions and giving answers. So really, really awesome to see ZeniMax, interacting with, streams, just popping into them on their own time just because they want to. So that's really cool.
We get one big patch like every month or every month and a half or so.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Torrenston says, how many patches before 2015? Their current goal is every 4 to 6 weeks is they're going to push a big update. Like right now we're on update 3 with update 4 coming up probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So every 4 to 6 weeks you should expect a patch. So that pretty much means 1.4, update 4 is going to come in September. Update 5 will be October. Update 6 will be November. Update 7, December, so on and so forth. Sounds good, Maglor. Alright, that looks like that's all the questions for tonight for the ESO recap. I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream down to go ahead and end the episode so that I can get that uploaded to YouTube. Like I said, it looks like YouTube's been fixed. It sucked I couldn't do an episode last week whenever I wanted to, but things was not converting for files recorded on Twitch. So glad to see it appears that issue's been fixed. So this episode will be available on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Defatank. If you want any more information about Elder Scrolls Online, it's elderscrollsonline.com. And of course, if you're watching the replay of this on YouTube right now, you can catch my live stream at twitch.tv/Defatank. That's going to wrap up episode number 28. Definitely appreciate everybody watching the live stream. Hang out in the stream because I will be back on momentarily. Getting into patch 1.4 tonight is what we're going to look into. And, just hang out tonight and tomorrow evening as well, doing 1.4. So everybody stand by. We'll be right back.